I would just like to have it on record that my alt is 166 spots ahead of Tomato in Necropolis B10 leaderboards. Real talk though, if he wanted to be number one, he would be number one. Make no doubt about it. Actually, fun fact, if you guys don't know, Tomato actually does a lot more. Giants especially. Giants and Dragons way more than he does Necropolis. So, if he really wanted to be number one, he would be number one. Anyway, what's up, everybody? Special League, 4-star Special League is going on right now. So I thought today would be a great opportunity to take a look at some different meta comps for 4-star Special League and kind of talk about the different reasons for them, because there's some wacky stuff too, man. There's some wacky stuff. There's some wacky flex comps, but there's a couple standard comps like different cleaves and then the counter cleave thing. So I thought we would go take a look at the different comps and see what see why they work. So first things first, let's start off with a Lucian cleave comp. Everyone's familiar with Lucian cleave comps. This person running the Lucian cleave comp on the left is doing a Lucian cleave with Miho of all things, because like, I don't want to fight against Miho. I'm gonna pick the Miho first, right? So he's got, they actually let through the Julie, both Julie and Lucian. They banned the Draco of all things. So he gets his amputation magic off. Does he crit? He crits a lot, right? He crits even on fire. So now it's like, okay, this hard, man, it's still, it's hard. As much as they make counters to Lucian cleaves, it's still hard to counter Lucian sometimes. It really is. Especially when you first pick Miho, a good counter to Lucian. You don't even have to deal with, yeah, I love the emotes. Oh my God. Just to add insult to injury, right? But if you pick the counter first pick, then it cuts out one of the legs of the opponent from under them. It's like, oh, what a way. And then at that point, like, I would think maybe I would think of outspeeding that Lucian comp, because then you don't have a speed lead, and then you have like the Draco's pretty fast, but Megan is the other option. It's like, okay, well, they have to pick Julie Lucian or something like that, and then you can definitely outspeed them, right? So there's always that option. I'm, picking holes in everything. Everything has a counter, but if you're not ready for something like that, but yeah, the thing is, this can still get outsped because there was no speed leads. But yeah, still dangerous, especially when you pick one of the counters right off the bat. So here's another one you guys are gonna be familiar with. This is a Bulldozer Copper Cleave comp. I mean, you could, like, if you're not sure what units you should use in RTA, you can always just run one of these traditional cleave comps and just have some different flexible fifth picks based on what's strong in the meta. So he actually, when he banned out the Copper, he left the Bulldozer in. And he put in the Wind Gargoyle. This is like, at first I thought this was like a pick that people were like seeing if it was good or maybe not. And now that, like, yeah, now that you actually see it being used, it's like, that is a solid pick. That Wind Gargoyle is actually, after that buff, is actually pretty relevant now, weirdly enough. And also the defense buff on top of it, since there's two defense buffers, he does reflect damage based on his defense, kind of like Joltan, but defense based. So all these different units are just taking reflect damage. Like Yen took reflect damage based on his defense, and she died. It's gonna just reflect damage, kill Miho. It's weirdly enough working pretty well in here. This is kind of how it was supposed to work initially when he first came out. We were like excited about it. We're like, but it's not quite there. But now it's like, I don't know how much we're gonna see this after Special League though. But currently it's actually doing pretty good. Not even as a gimmick, it's actually doing pretty good. Dragon Frog guy again. This is again same Miho first pick cleave comp. Felino is actually, I think Felino usually cleaves normal season, so he bans the Julie. So he's, I guess, familiar with how to deal with this. He bans the Julie, he leaves the Lucian, and any attack power buffer as well. So let's see how this plays out. But he goes, okay, so he goes for the Garrow first. So Garrow's just going to take enough damage to kill. Water Werewolf. So the Water Werewolf survived, and now crit resist. Water Werewolf survived. One of the reasons that Water Werewolf is actually relevant now, actually usable now, is because of that Second Awakening, obviously because of the Second Awakening. But one of the things that people don't really take into consideration is the base stats on units are just so important. Like, high-level players know that the base stats on units are super important. But I think a lot of early game players don't realize quite the importance of base stats. So when a unit gets second awakened, the skills could have been good before, but the base stats could have kept it from being meta relevant. Whereas now with the second awakening, it's just a little bit better that you need. And that crit resist is actually pretty good on that water werewolf, because he's got the heal, he's got the speed buff, he's got the crit resist, and then he also has a multi-hit defense break and good stats. 115 speed is crazy, right? So yeah, really solid stats. And now they're kind of struggling to deal with this Garo, but the Miho should be able to take care of the Garo just fine, because Miho multi-hits, and she also, and or that too, that also would take care of a Garo, is the continuous damage. Here's another one for the Copper, Bulldozer, Cleave team. So, of course, we see the Copper and Bulldozer. Triana and Vigor is actually pretty standard first picks for this special league. Crit resist and anti-death, right? So it's kind of anti-cleave things. And then you have the sustain, and especially if you have a crit damage Triana, you have some damage there. That actually outsped the Olivia. So maybe that Olivia is on Violent. So we'll see. She's got the strip and the defense break on the Copper. That's not a dead Copper. So he had the speed buff, but his first skill is based on speed for that Garo. His second skill is actually not based on speed. His second skill is based on attack power, I believe. So, additional, so yeah, shows she was on Violent, not on Swift. Most people put Olivia on Violent anyway, though. It's not really a shock there. Completely took out the Triana. A lot of people also doing crit damage Triana. So this way, even if they have the the two support unit first picks of the Vigor and Triana, they're still doing, like, both of those can dish out some damage. Okay, so we got the Shred here. Didn't get the defense break early on. We got the Crossfire limiting the turns. Briefing is so crazy. Those briefing second skills on those Neostone agents are so crazy with the turn cycling. Some of you guys have fought Ileana's before. It's just crazy turn cycling, right? They also have the turn cycling on skill 2 for the Lucia. So they're getting a lot of little extra turns here and there. And then a lot of CC, man. Lucia's so nasty. These second awakenings make things so much more relevant, right? And it's not even that they did so much different stuff to the skills, like they made the skills AoEs and things like that. It's like some of these units just need better base stats. Like some of the 3-stars just need better base stats and a little tweaks to the skills here and there to be like crazy. So a lot of these 2A monsters are really rivaling Nat 5. So full power punch, first one procs the passive, second one kills. GG. Here is a different style of cleave. It's like a third cleave, but this is kind of similar if you guys remember the Math Plus game style cleave where he used the horses and everything is very fast, speed-based damage, right? And just like super fast. So Ace is using a very fast team with the twins. So he bans one of the twins out, but still this team is so fast. We're looking at like a few units, like around 300 speed area, right? So he banned out the speed lead, and then just things start dying. I feel like we're looking at Felino losing, but Felino's actually a really solid, like, Guardian Plus level player. It's just the beginning of Special League. Special League is only 2 weeks, so, you know. It looks like we're seeing a lot of him losing, but he's actually a really good player, too. It's just this cleave is so strong. Let's see some more of this cleave, though. It's fun cleave. Let's see it again. Same thing. Shimitae, and then the twins, and he's using something. He's like, okay, I see that they're going to cleave me. Everything is counter cleave. Rasco's team, everything is counter cleave. We have the glancing, we have the if you crit on Miho, she's gonna do crazy things. Let's see how this, because this is like basically anti-cleave. The entire Rasco team is anti-cleave. Well, actually, the Molly and the Miho could potentially work against each other if you think about it, right? And Molly does a lot more heals. She does 25% heals. Didn't actually strip anything there. 25% heals with the Molly after the new recent buff. No buff to her glancing hit percentage, but there we go. And then starting to work on that. Starting to work on the Triana. Let's see what kind of crit rate they have on. Yeah, she's definitely dead. And then AOE, and then unrecoverable though. Unrecoverable and glancing. Eventually, oh, and then the dots. Yeah, and then the dots happen, right? But that was that whole team was anti-cleave, and they still cleaved through it. Let's see how this same cleave works against a G3 player, right? So he brings out the Kabila. He's like, no, I'm not getting outsped. I'm going to bring out that Kabila. Does the Kabila get banned? The Kabila doesn't get the ban. The speed lead gets banned. Are they going to outspeed that Kabila? They outspeed the Kabila. Oh, they outspeed the Kabila with 2 units so far. Okay. But the Miho cuts in. Miho, okay. But they outsped the Kabila with the Shimitae too. Everything was so ridiculously. How do you outspeed a Kabila with all those units? All those units were so fast. All those units were crazy fast. Yeah, that's why the team works so well, is because all these units are crazy. Like, how do you outspeed in Kabila with all this other stuff? They didn't have the speed lead on the Ready Perfect side, but still, it's pretty brutal. That's brutally fast for like the Shimitae and the Hreisvel. Like, all of these units are super fast. Let's see the same cleave in the hands of a different person. So this is OMG, it's Dez. Same thing. They went for the order of the picks a little bit differently though. Maybe they like to do those different flex picks instead of the twins last. They banned out the Miho. So this is, I mean, they got the glancing, they got the anti-crit. With the, sorry, not the anti-crit. They got the glancing with, that was a before I even got the words out, the battle was already done because Shimitae just blew through everyone like it was nothing. Let's see some more of Dez, because I barely got like 2 sentences out before he won. Just, Shimitae does so much damage. Shimitae is such a good, I mean, I've been saying Shimitae is good. Foxy says Shimitae is good all the time. How many times we got to tell you Shimitae is good? He leaves in both sets of twins. He bans out the Gemini. Okay. He leaves in the Orion. So he's looking like he's going to be, and didn't even get cut in with the Orion. Didn't even get cut in. That was another fast GG. Man, I love cleaves. It's just so fast wins. It's so nice. Speaking of twins, let's see. Cleave comp number 4 is just a bunch of twins. Just a bunch of twins and Huadam, right? Bunch of twins and Huadam. So what do they ban out? They ban out the Yen of all things. So they're all on Will, right? All on Will, of course. And Huadam is on, looks like Huadam is on a set of shield. Because those twins aren't going to be on shield, like double shield Will or something like that. So the shield is on Huadam. He banned out the DPS unit, though. Well, although, you know, here's the thing. The other units can still do DPS as well. But he banned out the one that could, like, just keep getting attack after attack after attack after attack and taking those twins out without any defense break. Like, still the Vigor and the Grip and the Bernard would need defense breaks. So there's a lot of crit resist actually going on, keeping those units alive. I actually like the Vigor and Bernard picks because those are just such solid bruisers. They're such solid fast bruisers. Both have defense breaks. Both can do some damage. They do some supports. They speed buff the team so that your team gets a lot more turns. So Bernard and Vigor are actually really solid picks. Really solid picks. So let's see. Again, crit resist coming in like a champ, man. Crit resist so good sometimes. And then with no crit resist. So now they have the crit resist on their team. So now it's kind of, and Triana said, well, element advantage. That's why Triana's doing her thing. But yeah, now look at all the, actually not that much more damage. Some of those were actually on Bruiser. Some of those twins were on Bruiser runes. Because one of them was doing a lot more damage than the other ones. So, yeah, still pretty nice though. More twins cleave. Let's go. Same thing. Huadam, double twins. 2 sets of twins. You never see the win ones, do you? You never see 2 sets of twins. Like, you never see the win. You know, the light boomerang is actually not that bad either. Well, not everyone has the light boomerang now. It's light boomerang, big light boomerang. But the water twins, they have damage mitigation for those water twins too. So let's see how much damage they're actually doing. I mean, remember, they don't have any defense breaks either. So, and those are got to be like some bruisery twins, because they are beefy enough to take some hits too. Because they're not dishing out a crazy. Look at this, 1,000 damage per hit, 1,000 damage per hit. Like anyone that uses twins for dungeons, like knows, like usually, like they do more damage than that. So these are actually like hybrid bruisery style twins. As soon as they get a defense break, like look, they're defense breaking. They didn't even kill the Horus, so they are bruiser twins. Remember, they're on Will and they're coming in with Huadam, so they're like, we're gonna get outsped. Things are gonna hit us. It's not just all straight YOLO DPS twins on this. And again, also they also have the passive of one of the water twins has the passive damage mitigation as well. So yeah, pretty solid. Twins still pretty relevant if you want to do the twins cleave. Moving outside of the realm of twins cleaves, we are on to now succubus cleaves. So we have triple succubus team. Triple succubus team, of course. Triple succubus bans the Clara of all the things. Bans the Clara. So you know this is gonna be super fast, faster than the Bernard. So that's a very, very fast. But they also have the speed lead on their side, right? They also have the speed lead on their side. The Bernard team didn't have the speed lead. So those succubuses, succubi, the sucky girls were very, very fast, both with the fire one and the Gemini and the speed lead, right? Because they had the 24 speed lead from the water succubus to their advantage as well, where the Bernard team did not have that. Another triple succubus. However, it's not the one you think it is. You're thinking, oh, water succubus. Nope, not that one. It's the wind succubus. Okay, let's see. Not my favorite unit, right? I like the fire one. I like the light one. Not that one. Bans out the speed lead though. Uses the accuracy lead. Gets the increased cool time on the Olivia, which was very important. And now it's just infinite CC. This is less of a cleave and just Ganny. Actually, yeah, it's kind of like Ganny Hathor. This is the special league version of Ganny Hathor. However, does a little more damage than the Ganny Hathor and just sleep. Oh my god. It's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. And increased cooltime and everything. And that is a very fast Clara, very fast Akia as well, the Fire Succubus. So by the time they get a turn, they're not getting a turn. By the time they get a turn, they're not getting a turn. It's basically Ganny Hathor, right? Because increase cooltimes, and then sleep, and then extra sleeps, and then increase the duration of the sleeps with the wind succubus. And this just like, that's so much sleep, that's so much control. Less cleave, more, this one's more control, but it's still a crazy team though. Triple succubus, I even did a video, I did triple succubus when they got buffed. And I was like, yo, this is a gimmick, but this is working really well for a gimmick team. Because you know the gimmick teams have time. It's just like, you know, once in every 3 or 4 times, it's like, hey, it's a gimmick team with some stupid monster. And it's like, yo, these succubuses are really crazy. And to finish it off, I thought we would take a look at a different, it's kind of like a Lucian variant. 2 units, first 2 picks are 2 units that will instantly give a turn to another unit. And then we have 3 ignored defense, basically ignored defense units on top of that. So let's see how this plays out. Very, very, very fast Tion instantly snipes the Triana out and ban the Huadam, because the Huadam, Triana, and Vigor combination is disgusting. It's very, very disgusting. There's a lot of just like, it's so hard to kill anything with those, right? And then you add Fran and Miho on top of that. It's just like, so it's like a wall of like, yeah, try to kill me, bro. Okay, so the Miho's doing some damage to the, he's going for the Tion. He's going for the unit that revives. You know, smart. He's not going for the dark, okay, he's going for it now. I was noticing he didn't go for the dark recovery though. On the Sylphid. Maybe he just knew that it didn't have as much. Look at that turn cycling. Maybe he knew that it didn't have as much enough HP to actually kill, because it's based on her HP, right? That skill 3, which is weird. She's she doesn't really have that high base HP, but it's still damage based on her HP. Tectonic shift onto the friend, and that should eventually watch Miho solo. Watch Miho solo, but the crit resist doesn't actually. It's kind of funny to have a Miho with crit resist on the Vigor. Like, if you think about it, it's kind of funny to have that crit resist on Miho. That should just kill the Miho, because you're gonna not crit on her, right? Her passive's not gonna come into effect. So yeah, that sometimes the Vigor Miho anti-crit, anti-cleave kind of strategy works against you when Miho's like, hey, you can't kill me with a crit, and Vigor's like, yeah, don't try to crit on it. And like, you're gonna put a crit resist on Miho. Right. Thank you so much. Thank you so. It's kind of like the same thing as using a Chroma and Ragdoll together in the same battle. It's like, I don't really have to worry about the Ragdoll if the Chroma's there preventing the crits. I'm like, yeah, let me just take let me take a bomb. Let me take well, maybe not a bomb, maybe not a bomb. Let me take a Molong. How's that? Let me take a Molong Akaris into that Ragdoll Achroma team. GG. But anyway, that's it for this one. I just thought it'd be fun to show you guys some different 4-star cleaves for Special League. There's a whole lot of, mostly in Special League in the higher ranks though. Let me just be honest. Mostly in the higher ranks of Special League, there's a lot of mixed teams of like some support and sustain and this and that. And like the cleaves are basically like you win or you lose. It's not as high of a win rate as some of the other things like Triana, Vigor, Bernard, like some of the weird just efficiency and value teams, where it's like you don't know you can't really categorize it as a team of anything. It's like a little bit here and a little bit of there. So those teams actually have higher win rates. But the nice thing about the cleaves is you get your matches done as soon as possible, and you don't really get too butthurt about like RNG, like, oh, I win because RNG, or no, you never get butthurt winning from RNG. You know, you don't get as butthurt losing from RNG because it's like the match is over and done with before you can even have time to get. You still get angry, but not too angry. So it's one of the nice things about cleaves, and you can still climb a decent amount, right? Even though you're not going to be winning every single match, you can still climb a decent amount with a lot of these cleaves. Anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys are enjoying 4-star Special League. It's nice because it's different, right? 4-star Special League. Anyway, that's it for this one. I'll see you as always in the next one.